Now, very briefly about functional medicine. I know there's tons of information I'm putting across, a lot of secrets, right? So I welcome you to just take notes, for you to do your own research, and let me know maybe after the workshop and tell me, Patrick, I really am so interested in what you talk about in functional medicine or in Tai Chi. Can you please run another workshop another day? I'll be more than happy. Now, if it's the first time you heard about what functional medicine is, this is what it is. Basically, it is a little bit like traditional Chinese medicine, except it's scientific. We focus on helping people find out the root causes, and we treat the systems in the body instead of symptoms. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as that. If this is something that intrigues you, then leave me a comment or DM me later, and then we can talk about functional medicine separately. Now, on IG, there are I think there are quite a number of functional medicine doctors as well who have been like promoting this, and we are big functional medicine advocates here. Okay, we stay off drugs. Yes to nutrition, no to drugs. All right, so that's what functional medicine. Now, before I move on to the last bit, because I know we're already at, like, I only have maybe 20 minutes left. I want to hear from some of you actually today, if possible. I just want to bring us back to the power of us embracing our natural state, or going back to nature. I just want to prove this to you by showing you this beautiful picture, this comparison. Now, let me draw your attention to the right side, the right picture. Now, if you notice, the right picture is a river network of the Amazon. All right? And then the picture on the far left is a close-up of a small leaf. Now, don't you think that the blood vessels in our body are so similar to these river systems? Yes? Just nod your head if you think they are similar. Yeah? Or give me a thumbs up if you think they're similar, so I know you're following. Okay, cool, right? So that means, just like rivers, we can't have our blood vessels clogged up. All right? And then, this is the most important thing. Now, this is one of the key secrets that I want to share with everyone here. Many of us have heard of stem cells, right? Say yes, type in the chat. Say yes, I have heard of stem cells. Yes, if you have heard of stem cells. And people are raving about it. People are spending a lot of money, right? Celebrities, royalty, they're spending tons of money. But there are actually other ways that we can regenerate or reverse, or what we call build all these blood vessels again, or what I call new pathways. Now, as our body as we age, just like the river system, sometimes the little streams and the little rivers, they get clogged up. All right? And then what happens? The water is not flowing properly. So similarly, in our human body, if it gets clogged up, then there will be risk of heart attacks, right? Stroke, so on and so forth. So there are only two ways in the world. Number one, yes, stem cells can do it, but how many of us, I wouldn't say can afford, how many of us would actually go for that option? The other option, actually there are three options, sorry. The second option is actually a machine called the ECP. And by the way, this whole process is called the angiogenesis process. So our body still can produce mini micro vessels like this naturally. In fact, we used to do this when we were young, but not at our age anymore, right? So we can do this through a machine called external counterpulsation machine. Now, I know many of you are all from all around the world. Try to look for this machine or leave a message in the group later, and then our facilitator will send you maybe a link or the name of this machine. Try to look for it in your country, all right? Or if you're planning to come to Malaysia, perhaps this is something you can explore when you come to Malaysia to my clinic. But this is the only other way, apart from stem cells, where we can actually build new blood vessels. In other words, angiogenesis. It's proven, it's scientific, and there's plenty of case studies in my clinic, in our clinic. We've got hundreds of patients where we manage to reverse diseases like chronic kidney disease, fatty liver, so many things, right? Literally all the chronic diseases by simply improving their blood flow. All right. So this is the other secret that I want to share with you that not many people are aware of. That there are actually ways to create like what we do, like a natural bypass around blocked arteries. Because you know what, many of us unfortunately may not have had fantastic lifestyles before this. You know, we because of work or for whatever reasons, we've not been very active, right? So this is one of the best ways that I want to share with you. If you can find this in your country, I encourage you to go for it. Now, the third and final way to do it, so there's stem cells, there's this external counter pulsation machine, and finally, it is still possible to do it naturally. However, you need supervision. Why? Because the only way to produce angiogenesis again, even when we are in our 40s and 50s, is what we call endurance exercise. You literally need to go like maybe do running for like an hour every day, kind of thing. And that means you really need to monitor your heart rate to make sure that you don't overstress your body, etc., etc. All right. So it gets a bit more complex if you already have some health conditions to try to build angiogenesis yourself. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. I know this is a bit technical, but this is very, very powerful stuff. This is how we've reversed so many people's chronic diseases in Malaysia. Then the next thing is this. I'm going to invite everyone to take a short break now because, you know, in some of my reels, you've also seen me do some kind of deep breathing, right? They're not as popular because everybody wants to see the dancing in the kitchen, right? But I can tell you, this is the other thing. Yes, see the dancing, right? But I want to tell you that this is equally, if not even more powerful than movement. I would say more powerful. I would say it's equally powerful, right? So, I'm taking a reference from Dr. Jockers, right? And what he talks about is, I completely agree. It's the power of nasal breathing. In particular, I practice, I'm sure some of you too, what we call deep breathing. And my preferred technique is called the 4-7-8 technique. All right? The 4-7-8 technique. If you have a notepad with you next to you, just note it down so it help you remember better. And better still, I'm going to just run a quick breath work with everyone. Would you like that? Yes? Say yes. Give me a thumbs up if you like that. Awesome. Fantastic. I love your energy, Jessica. How come I only see Jessica's camera? She's right on top, is it? That's why? Okay, anyway, I feel like she's really like accompanying me and giving me like the support for this workshop. Thank you, thank you. It just keeps me going, right? All right. Now, first of all, before we do the breathing, I just wanted to, for those of you who already know it, just bear with me, or it could just be a kind of refresher, right? First thing I want to do is to invite you to place, I'm just going to adjust my camera on my laptop here. Now, I want you to observe something before I continue, right? Now, do you notice when we are, especially when we have anxiety or when we're excited, we tend to breathe in like this? We lift our shoulders, right? Do you realize that? Yeah? Actually, some of you who may already be practicing singing and all that, you would know it's really important to learn to breathe. We call it belly breathing. All right. So before we practice the 4-7-8, I would like to invite everyone here to just place your right palm on your tummy here, right here. Okay. And then I would like to now invite you to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. One more time, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Very good. Now you can keep your eyes open or closed. It's up to you because you'll be guided with my voice, yeah? Now, we are not doing the actual 4-7-8 technique yet. I'm just taking you through the fundamentals. Again, right palm on the tummy, As you breathe in, I would like you to bring your attention to the rise and fall of your belly, right? So every time you breathe in, you feel your tummy rise just like a balloon, all right? And when you exhale, your tummy will kind of like, what do you call that, deflate, just like a balloon too. Okay, let's try that together. Yes? Okay, when you're ready, breathe in through your nose slowly and exhale through your mouth. One more time, breathing in slowly and out through your mouth. One last time, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, I don't know about you, I already feel relaxed. I'm not sleepy, but I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling really good already. All right, don't you think so? Yeah, I see Jessica nodding her way. Now, so that's what we call nasal breathing. Now, to give ourselves a little bit more guidance, to slow down our breathing more. Now, I'm sure everybody here will agree that sometimes speed kills, right? My personal motto since 10 years ago has been this line: slow down to be more. Okay, there's a lot in that short line, and I think that can be an entire workshop on another day, but I'm just going to leave it as that today, right? So, what I want to invite you to do now is to now use the 4-7-8 technique and combine it with that nasal breathing I taught you just now. So, when we breathe in through the nose, we count to 4, we hold for 7, and then we exhale for 8. While observing the tummy deflating. Are we good? Excellent. All right. So when you're ready, just take a normal breathe in first and exhale. Okay, when ready, let's count together. Breathing in for 4, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 7, 8. One more time, breathing in through the nose and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. Just one more time. Entertain me, all right? Breathing in and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. Release. Feel all the tension in your body all melting away. Don't you just feel so good after that? I know, right? I feel like jelly now. All right, okay. So that was a quick demonstration of the 4-7-8 technique. And this technique, you can use it anytime, anywhere. I use it all the time. Before, sometimes I find it hard to go to sleep. Like last night, I was so excited about this morning session. I found it a bit hard to sleep. I was like, oh, so excited. How, you know? So I actually did a couple of rounds of 4-7-8, and then I counted backwards from a very large number, you know. And sometimes before I go into like a presentation or very maybe a meeting that I think is going to be very tense, or I'm going to do public speaking, I would actually do this nasal breathing before I go in. Okay, a bit of science on that. Why is this so powerful is when we do nasal breathing, our body produces something called NO. NO stands for nitric oxide. So nitric oxide helps our body to absorb more oxygen into our bloodstreams. Got it? So if you have a notepad next to you, just write down nitric oxide, NO. So the machine I talked to you about just now, the ECP, remember? This one actually does the same thing. It actually increases NO, nitric oxide, and therefore helps our body absorb more oxygen oxidating our cells better, which helps us reduce oxidative stress too. Helps with everything, our sleep, our focus, our concentration, everything. Because oxygen, right? Simple, right? Cool. So I'm going to leave nasal breathing as it is now. Now, if for those of you who are really more interested in nasal breathing, or you want to learn about breath work, or more interested in this aspect, leave a note, DM me later. I'll be more than happy to run another workshop separately. All right. Now, as I shared today, I'm trying to share as many things as I can today, but all these topics and little secrets can all be expanded into its own workshop. Okay, so this is kind of like an introduction to some of the secrets or some of the things I practice every single day. I'm not going to talk very much about this because it's another entire workshop altogether. How do we detox our body? So I think I'm going to skip it because I think we are past 45 minutes already. I want to try to keep this for now and leave some time for a chat with everyone if possible. Okay. In fact, let me just find a quick place to pause right now and see whether any one of you have any comments. Oh, okay. Let's see. Someone said slow down to be more. Yay! Yes. And is it better the 478 technique or the cardiac coherence, or are they equal? You mean the cardiac coherence as the external counter pulsation treatment? I would say do a combo, because remember in the earlier part of my workshop, I don't believe there's a one size fits it all, that we have this problem and therefore this is a solution. It doesn't work that way. Very often it's a combination of many things. And we need, just like the yin yang, you need blood circulation to work well. You also need to have good energy. So the breathing is important, is really important. Those of you who are practicing yoga or Tai Chi would know that if you don't breathe properly, there's no way you can practice Tai Chi. You'll be out of breath in no time. It took me like 6 months before I got that concept right, because I even had a one-on-one session and my master said, she said, you're just going too fast. You're moving like a dancer all the time. This is not a dance. This is Tai Chi. Okay, anyway, that's another topic for another day. So, right, what is the difference between functional medicine and naturopathy? Right, great question. I'm going to pause here and take that question before we finish off the last part. Now, I think there are similarities and overlaps, because in functional medicine, we believe in natural medicine. All right. The only thing that is distinct about functional medicine is the word functional, meaning we look into specific identifying and also investigating what is the root cause of a condition before we recommend the solution, the natural solution, right? So naturopathy or natural botanic solutions is part of functional medicine. We can put it that way. All right. I hope that answers your question quickly. Beliana, you want to learn Tai Chi? Yay! Yes. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. There are many forms of Tai Chi. There's also Yang style and Chen style. I'm a big fan of Chen style Tai Chi. All right. We can talk more about that next time. Meanwhile, keep leaving your questions in there. I will find places to pause. If I can, or I can try to continue that later on. Okay, Juliana says, I have lots of questions, yeah? Yes, you can contact me, DM me later. I'll be happy to do a consult with you later separately, because like I said, everyone is different, yeah? So today, this morning, I'm just giving like very generic information, just as an introduction. Okay, let's continue, and I'm find another place to pause later, yeah? All right, let's continue. In fact, I think I need a stretch again. Shall we do the twist? All right, yeah, I can't sit down for too long. Yay, Joe just got up. I wish someone would put on some music. I wish I had an assistant play music today. I think we've got some clients and patients coming to the clinic right now, but they're used to me here anyway. Thank you, Joe, for being so sporting. I see she's got water too. I've got something interesting today. I'm actually having my this blue drink. I'll tell you more about later. Let me just take a quick water break or this amazing blue drink. Right? Let me show you. Can you see? One of nature's miracles. All right, let's continue. Okay, this is what Joe just asked just now about natural medicine and all that. And yeah, in functional medicine, the other key distinctness is that we believe in nutritional medicine and we treat the body's systems, not the symptoms, right? So we know Western drugs is really good in relieving symptoms and controlling the system, which is why in the beginning of the workshop, I talked about how people's lifespan have extended to even up to 80, but in the last 20 years, they're usually relying on drugs. So we live longer, but the last 20 years are usually not very pleasant, right? So what we do in functional medicine is we use scientific ways to treat the body systems so that our body can recuperate or recover its own innate healing ability. So we don't fix the system, we don't fix the symptoms, we fix the symptoms. Morning, Talia. Our colleagues are slowly coming into the clinic. All right. Now, just a couple more things before I end up. Now, a lot of you keep asking me questions like this. You ask me, okay, can you tell me what supplements are you taking? What is your skincare routine? And I've never really shared all this while, even the last 1 year. So today I will review to you what are the things I've been taking, right? Because sometimes I don't feel good about sharing products that I've not really tried and tested and measured. And I want to make sure that I'm responsible because I know I don't call myself an influencer, but I want to make sure that whatever I recommend is something that is scientifically proven. Right. So it took me a while. And the last 3 months, I was very fortunate. I got approached by a global American company called BPM, and they sponsored me a number of products, what we call cellular nutrition products. All right, this is actually one of them. All right, and I wanted to make sure that before I share this with anyone, that I would measure, because at my clinic there are ways to measure through body composition analysis. We do our blood tests, and the results has been amazing for me. All right. So I'm going to mention a few of these supplements later that you can consider and do research on. If you want to find out more about them, you can DM me separately, or you can start another workshop on that separately, right? So some of the things I'm taking currently are this compound called astaxanthin. Some of you may already have heard about it before. People are using astaxanthin as a super antioxidant. Now, it's known to have 6,000 times more. The ORAC level is just crazy. It's in the millions. All right. So ORAC level means the ability to reduce oxidative stress. All right. It's great for the skin, for immune system, and everything. So I'm taking a super antioxidant from BPM now, and its main compound is astaxanthin. One of the key reasons why we age is basically oxidative stress, inflammation. So I'm constantly looking at ways to minimize my inflammation in my body. I mean, we can't avoid that in our modern lifestyle. Sometimes we sleep late, sometimes we're stressed, there's contamination in the air, in the water. So it's always inflammation, right? So one of the ways I keep myself young is I watch my inflammation. And again, there are blood tests to monitor that. We test their inflammation markers in our body, like for example, ESR, HSCRP, homocysteine, and I watch these inflammation markers very closely at a minimal level. And once I started taking this astaxanthin and super antioxidant, my inflammation markers were all like super low. My ESR is like only 2. Some of you may be familiar with ASR. Anything above 10, 15 is no. It's not so good, yeah? Some people who have cancer are in the hundreds, the inflammation markers. So this is one of the things that I'm swearing by now. The other thing is this is actually made from this blue drink. Okay, it's a drink called Ocean Star from BPM as well. And what it is actually a peptide which is been extracted from spirulina, from the sea, like another form of algae, right? It's like a monomicronism, one of the most original cellular forms. So this is something else that I'm taking. Now, the other thing that is a breakthrough is, if you look on the bottom left of the picture, I'm sure many of you have heard of NAD plus or MNN, which is now the rage around the world. People are taking NAD plus and MNN because of the research by Dr. David Sinclair and all that. I've tried it. In fact, I tried NMN for like 3 months. Honestly, it didn't work that much for me. I did a telomere test to test my biological age. It didn't move very much. I'm not sure why, because I'm not saying it doesn't work, but perhaps I don't know. Everybody's body is different, right? But last month, I started taking AKG, alpha ketogluteric acid, and at 51, what was amazing for me was that I noticed my colleagues noticed, I started to lose weight. Some of you maybe have noticed as well. A year ago and like a few months ago, I started losing weight, and I'm 51. It's harder for me to maintain my muscle mass, and I've not been going to the gym that often. So very interestingly, a month ago, after I started taking alpha ketogluteric acid, just 2 capsules a day, my muscle mass has gone back up even higher than 1.5 years ago. It's crazy, right? So it's very good for muscles. And think of it's like charging up your battery. Like your cells are like powerhouses, like the mitochondria. You're familiar with that term, right? It charges up the cells, right? So that's something that I'm swearing by now. I'm taking AKG, and the latest research, not latest, I think it was probably about 1 or 2 years ago, by Brian Kennedy. This guy called Brian Kennedy. They did a study for 42 people, and I think that after consuming AKG formulation for 7 months, their biological age reversed by 8 years. 8 years. That's crazy, right? So, and just taking AKG. So I'm in my 2nd month of AKG now, and I can't wait to see my results. I'm going to test probably my telomere in another 3-4 months and see how much further I've managed to reverse my biological age. All right. So these are the 2. And then the other thing that I wanted to share was look, the super antioxidant xanthine oceans. Yep, these are the 3 main ones that I want to share with you. That's really powerful that I've been taking. And I don't really take much of anything else. I do take a men's health supplement, but that's generic, like a men's health supplement. I would also encourage the women to do that too. There are some good supplements out there where it's like your multivites. It's got your folic acid, your B12, your magnesium, your zinc, and stuff to just help you balance your hormones, which is really important. So a men and women's health supplement is really critical for you too. All right. So that's to support your optimizing your body systems. All right. Now, supplements aside, the other interesting thing I want to talk about, which I mentioned in the beginning of the workshop, it's the importance of not getting too comfortable. Remember? Nod your head if you remember. Yeah. So, I'm not sure whether you've heard of this term called hormesis. Okay. If you have not, just write it down on a separate piece of paper. Hormesis, and also autophagy. AUTOPHA, autophagy, GY, autophagy. So these are terms that we need to be familiar with if you are interested in biohacking and reverse aging. Right. In hormesis, which is a fundamental practice by all biohackers like me, what we do is we practice sometimes, like everybody has different routine, right? I would sometimes go on a fast, maybe once or twice a week. I try Mondays and Thursdays, intermittent fasting. I would put myself into a infrared sauna, FIR sauna. I'm not a big fan of cold plunges, but some people swear by it. Again, there's no one size fits it all. I don't believe in doing things that are too stressful and something that is not pleasant. I mean, like, let's face it, if it's something that's not pleasant and you don't enjoy it, it's not going to be sustainable, even if it's great for you. So it's not practical to me, right? So, but I enjoy FIR sauna. So I try to do that at least once, if not twice a week. So the best form of homeostasis for me are a quick, I mean, like if it's in your local where you are, look for a good FIR sauna, or if you can, if your house allows it, fix it up in your own house. 2-3 times a week, FIR saunas are amazing for biohacking. All right. Intermittent fasting, great as well. These are all ways to do what we call homeostasis. So I'm going to recap that again, and that's probably the key message I want all of us to take away from. I know I've gone past more than an hour. That we are killing ourselves by getting too comfortable. All right. And homeostasis, recap, intermittent fasting, workout like hunter-gatherers, do weight training, ice baths. I only take cold showers, by the way. But again, it may not work for everyone, depending on which part of the world you're from. Sometimes it's too ice cold. You can't be taking ice baths all the time, right? But in where we are, in a tropical country like Malaysia, I take cold baths all the time, or cold showers all the time. All right. So these are all the simple ways to biohack. You do not need to spend any money at all if you're taking cold showers, for example. All right. So not everything means that you need to spend money, right? It's a combo, right? It's a lifestyle. It's choosing what we eat, choosing what we buy at the grocers. So again, that could be another topic altogether, another workshop. Yeah. All right. So I think I'm coming almost to a close to the session. I'm sorry I overshot. I know the poster says 45 minutes. I've wanted to give as much value as I can. Oh, Leta says spirulina look green, right? This is a special type of spirulina. Yes, very, very special. Okay, now I'm going to find a quick place to pause right now. If anybody of you have any questions for me. Okay, Celine says write down the name of the company of the drink. Right. I will what I suggest is, Celine and anybody else interested in the supplements I'm taking, to actually leave it in a chat, your contact, ideally your phone number. I will set up another group because I'm I've been sponsored. I'll just I need to declare, right? BPM is actually a sponsor, which is why I've been taking their products for the last 3 months and measuring the effectiveness. Okay, Umi, you'd like to know more about supplements too? Great. So DM me later on your phone number, and then I will send you the information, and we can have a separate workshop altogether about the supplements specifically, right? This is an American company, by the way, FDA approved. The reason why I took on this ambassadorship, also just for your information, is I've been approached countless times the last, 5 years to endorse, to become the ambassador for various anti-aging products. But this is the only time after I've tested and I have actually gone through all this. They've got like 13 certifications. The most important, obviously, FDA, right, which is world recognized. The technology is crazy too. Nanotechnology, liposomal technology, we can talk more about that separately. All right. Thank you, Eric. Do you know can you DM me in my IG? Pasang, your question is how many hours for intermittent fasting? If you are new to this, I suggest you can start slow, maybe 12 hours, extend it to 14, and then eventually, if you can, 18 hours. All right. You don't need to be too drastic about it. You can try once a week, twice a week first, and make sure you have someone that is trained, like a coach, to guide you through the process. Because again, not everybody is the same. Everybody's body is different, right? Okay, let's see any more questions. I'm going to take a few more questions before we finish off. Joe, you got to go, Anna Being? Yes. Bye-bye, Joe. Stay in touch. Okay. All right. Now, I think we are really, really overshot. I'm just going to round up now by just thanking our sponsors. Again, those of you interested in AKG or antioxidant or Ocean Star, please DM me on IG separately. These are the three key products that we're talking about. And I just want to say thank you so much. Morning, Dato. Morning, morning. And I just want to say this is just the beginning. Hi, Juliana. This is just the beginning of how we can redefine aging for millions of women out there. And I want to invite you all sincerely, to be part of this community of empowered leaders. Right? I'm looking to enlist to recruit members into this team of mine, where we can continue to share knowledge, inspire women. And for those of you who are interested, there's also ways to build our wealth and financial freedom. All right. So to round up, aging is no longer decline. It is our ascent. All right.